So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about ichthyosis. In case you've never seen me before, hi, my name is Carly. I am a 20-year-old girl affected with Netherton syndrome, ichthyosis, alopecia, as well as scoliosis. The alopecia and scoliosis are not affected from Netherton syndrome, ichthyosis. They are completely different diagnoses. And today we're just focusing on ichthyosis. So what is ichthyosis? Ichthyosis is a rare genetic skin disorder that causes a person's skin to have a pinkish coloration to their skin and grow skin 10 times faster than an average person. So let's talk about life with ichthyosis. Obviously, since you just heard that our skin grows 10 times faster than an average person, that makes our life look a little different. You guys can usually take a bath or a shower at nighttime every couple days or every day, depending on your activity level and personal preferences. However, people with ichthyosis have to bathe on a daily basis, if not multiple times a day. You might be thinking, why? Well, we have a higher risk of infection, and obviously dead skin has a lot of bacteria, and if we let our bacteria sit on our skins for a long time, it can cause major infections, which could and sometimes lead to death. So to prevent that, obviously we have to take a bath or a shower every day or multiple times a day to remove all of the dead skin cells. What else do we have to do on a daily basis? And that is moisturize. After all of the dead skin cells have been removed to the best of our abilities, our skin gets really, really dry really quickly. So obviously we gotta wear lotion. And unlike you guys who might wear a creamy type lotion that is usually a little bit liquidy and very thin, us ichthyosis people need to wear a thick lotion that takes a while to soak into the skin to maintain a proper hydration on our skin. A lot of us ichthyosis people prefer to use Aquaphor because if you have ever used Aquaphor is extremely thick, so it stays on the skin for a long time. A lot of us also love fuzzy fabrics because we have a hard time regulating our body temperature. You see, a lot of people with ichthyosis, not every single type, but most types are missing the two most layers of our skin. And those two layers are what causes a person's regulation of temperature. So you guys have sweat glands, but I don't have sweat glands. So I can overheat extremely quickly, but I can also become extremely cold even quicker. So a lot of us with ichthyosis will be wearing layers even in the summer. For instance, today it was almost 70 degrees and I was wearing a long sleeve shirt because I was still a little chilly. Another thing that us ichthyosis people have to do is eat more than an average person. So obviously since our skin grows 10 times faster, that means we need a lot more calories than an average human being. So let's pretend that this is a person, okay? And this person is named Timothy. And Timothy eats 1,000 calories a day to stay healthy. But this is pretend me, okay? And I had to eat 2,000 calories a day. And that could be a lot for certain people. For me, I cannot eat 2,000 calories a day. So I have help with a feeding tube. However, I have been doing a lot better with eating, which I'm very proud of. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. How rare is ichthyosis? Since, if you don't remember at the beginning of the video, I did say that ichthyosis was extremely rare. Well, I'm going to explain it. Ichthyosis is 1 in 1,000. So, hypothetically, imagine if 1,000 pregnant women go into a hospital and give birth and there are now 1,000 babies. Well, unless they have twins or triplets. But in this hypothetical, that's not a thing. They each give birth to one child. So 1,000 mothers give birth to 1,000 babies. One of those babies will have ichthyosis. My type, Netherton syndrome, is 1 in 1,000,000. So if 1,000,000 mothers come into a hospital and give birth and 1,000,000 babies are born, one of those babies will have my type of ichthyosis, Netherton syndrome. What is the difference between each ichthyosis? Well, I can explain. So, my type, Netherton syndrome, is characterized by our hair. As you can see, I don't have much hair. And at the beginning of the video, I did say I have alopecia. But another thing with Netherton syndrome is underneath a microscope, our hair looks like bamboo. And at those little joints, it breaks off. So, a lot of people with my condition, even if they don't have alopecia, they might have thin hair or no hair at all because all of their hair broke off and they had to shave it, similar to me. But there are some lucky individuals with Netherton syndrome who have gorgeous hair, and I'd be a little jealous at times. Not gonna lie. I also don't have eyelashes or eyebrows. I honestly never had those. I don't think it was the ichthyosis. I think it's just me being absolute goofy, but I've never had eyebrows or eyelashes. I do wear fake eyebrows, and I have a wig, and I wear fake eyelashes. I just don't wear them all the time because inconvenient. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So Netherton syndrome is characterized by its hair as well as the way that our skin is not super thick. Our dead skin is able to come off almost 100% and is not that thick, and our skin itself is not very tight. However, I still cannot fully close my eyelids all the way, so I have constantly watery eyes. That is one side effect for me. Now, Harlequin ichthyosis, which is probably one of the most well-known type of ichthyosises, even though it is more common as in more people are born with it, but it's less common as in the survival rate. They have a lot of side effects because of their condition, one of them being arthritis. Arthritis has always been closely tied with skin conditions. People with eczema have a higher risk of arthritis, especially people with ichthyosis. We have an extremely high risk of arthritis, so we have to be extremely careful. But Harlequin is even worse. They could get arthritis as young as toddlerhood. Giant side effects about Harlequin ichthyosis. Another thing is that their skin does crack a lot easier than mine, and that can lead to a higher risk of infection. And infections is the number one cause of death amongst all ichthyosis individuals because we have a slightly weakened immune system, and it takes a lot for us to fight infections, and the type of infections that we get are usually quite severe and deadly on a typical healthy-bodied individual. So just imagine on somebody with a weakened immune system. It's not the best. They also have a tighter skin, so their eyes don't close fully almost at all, and so they have a lot of eye problems, I've discovered. They also have malformed limbs. Usually their hands and feet are malformed slightly because whenever an ichthyosis person is born, we are born with what's called as a zirconium membrane, or as us ichthyosis people like to call it, a cocoon or chrysalis, because that's just a cuter way than saying zirconium membrane. But I'm going to keep saying zirconium membrane just so you guys know the medical term. So my zirconium membrane was not as thick as, say, a Harlequin ichthyosis zirconium membrane. You might be thinking, what even is a zirconium membrane? Try saying that 5 times fast. Bro, I can't even say 5 times fast, so I probably couldn't even do it. Anyways, a zirconium membrane is a buildup of dead skin. As I already mentioned, us ichthyosis people have to shed our skin every single day to prevent infections. But inside of your mother womb for like 9 months, you obviously cannot be bathed. So that dead skin just builds up and builds up so much that's like this tight little cocoon. And with Harlequin, since their skin is a lot thicker than Netherton syndrome, it can make it to where whenever you're a fetus, your body just doesn't grow certain limbs like fingers or toes or arms and legs because it's just so tight, and they usually have a hard time stretching out their arms or legs or hands because of it being so tight. However, that is just their type of ichthyosis. Others, like lamellar, which still has a thicker dead skin layer, doesn't have such a thick zirconium membrane, so they don't really have that problem. So yeah, every single ichthyosis is extremely different, and I only mentioned 3 ichthyosis types. But remember, there are 28. So if you want to learn more about ichthyosis, please go to the first website, which is the Foundation for Ichthyosis and Related Skin Types, or search them on YouTube. Foundation for Ichthyosis and Related Skin Types. I will type it on this screen so you guys can have all the resources to do your own research, which I highly recommend. Don't Google your questions because Google does not tell you proper answers for my condition, which irks me. Fix that, Google. Anyways, so yeah, just use first, and I hope that my video has been able to educate you guys just a little bit so you have a basic understanding of my condition. I will then later on make videos explaining my other conditions if you guys are, curious. And every couple of years, I'll probably update this video because I can. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles, guys!